How you doing, everybody? It's your boy Wardy, and as you can see, we're back at it talking about the Amazons. And yes, there is a lot going on in baseball land right now. Signings are inevitably coming soon. Trades are inevitably coming soon, not only for the ensuing days, but next week as well with winter meetings and then some. But before we get there, there have been reports that have come out today which are beyond interesting, highlighting Randy Arozerana for the Tampa Bay Rays could very well be on the move this MLB offseason. And yes, there is truth to that. So we're going to deep dive these reports and how the Mets need to, at minimum, do their due diligence here, because Randy checks off so many boxes for this New York Metropolitan team, and should they go out of their way to land him, my goodness, my gracious, would he be quite the fit for this club for 2024 and beyond. A lot to get into on not only Randy, but these reports, so let's do exactly that. But before we go further, I have to let you all know about today's video sponsor and our great friends, that being Game Time app. Because as many of you know, I love my sports, hence the whole YouTube thing. I also love attending concerts, comedy shows, among many other various forms of entertainment each year. So in order to do that, I got to get my tickets, right? And that's where Game Time app comes into play, because in case you're unaware, they have been taking the ticketing space by storm the past couple years, and they are your go-to, especially for last-minute tickets. If you're like me, you hate, and I mean absolutely hate it, when you need last-minute tickets and you cannot get them, let alone you get them, but there's all these ridiculous extra charges and fees that you weren't expecting. Game Time app has you covered with the best deals imaginable every single week for all your various entertainment that you want to seek out, and they're not going to beat around the bush. They're going to give you those flat rates right up front, so you're not charging anything additional that you weren't initially expecting. So you want to check your seats as well from the seat itself. So in the app, you go through it and you want to say, hey, where am I sitting exactly while attending this baseball game or attending this concert? You can do exactly that in the Game Time app. If you want an app that's going to protect you from any type of cancellation, whether it's from a concert, comedy show, sports game, whatever it may be, Game Time app again has you covered. So for all these reasons and then some, why are you still waiting? Make sure you click the link if you haven't already in the description to download the Game Time app today for all your ticketing needs, and use my promo code WARDY, that is WARDY, for 20% off your first purchase. Again, that is promo code WARDY for WARDY off your $20 off your first purchase. Shout out to Game Time app again for sponsoring today's video. Alrighty, guys and gals, let's just hop right into these reports now. As you see here, left or right, starting with Jack Azule Heron, who is an independent MLB reporter, as is the case with Michael Marino on the right that I've referenced a lot in recent years. But Jack was the first to break today. Big news regarding the outfielder market. The Rays are shopping outfielder Randy Arozerana. There's a good chance that he is moved, sources tell MLB Nerds, in which he is the host of that Twitter account. Michael Marino goes on to confirm this as well. It's been the big buzz over the past week, and Randy is a huge get for whoever lands him. So let's start with, okay, who exactly are these people? If you've been following the channel, you know Michael Marino really well. He's not only a diehard Mets fan, but he has been on the money to an absolute T for the past 2+ years now, covering all things baseball alike, not just Mets related, baseball as a whole. Him and Marino alike have been collaborating for the past year plus now, have been very accurate. So I'm definitely taking this at more than just face value when viewing this. I wholeheartedly believe that Randy Arozerana is made available this MLB offseason, as is the case with Isaac Paredes, Tyler Glasnow, plenty of players, Manuel Margot for the Tampa Bay Rays. They're always having guys available every single year. They would love to shed payroll and still have a successful not only offseason, but season for 2024. But Randy being made available is nothing short of a massive deal. Why exactly is that? We all know Randy Arozerana. The guy didn't just take the MLB by storm as soon as he came in 2019, but he has been an absolute stud in the biggest moments available. When looking at postseason, when looking at World Series, when looking at World Baseball Classic, Randy has continued to defy the odds and be nothing short of a human highlight reel. As you see his numbers down below for this past 2023 season, another very impressive campaign for the veteran outfielder. Randy having himself a total of a 254 average, a 364 OBP, a 425 slug, including 23 home runs, 95 runs scored, north of 90 RBIs, over 20 stolen bases. He has that five-tool aspect to his game, and while he isn't nearly as strong of a defender as, say, a true five-tool player, whether that is a Ronald Acuna Jr., whether that is someone like a Luis Robert, who I would love to see on the Mets, he still can be capable in that corner outfield, and with the bat, there is so much to love and so much to like. And on top of that, you're getting a guaranteed at least 20 stolen bags a year. Who wouldn't like that? Who wouldn't love a Randy Arozerana with their team? And to make matters even better for whoever acquires him, he's only 28 years of age, and he still has 3 years left of control on his contract. That is why Randy, whoever lands him, will not come at an easy price. It will be a pretty penny, but it will certainly be a more reasonable price than say, going out of your way to try to land a fish where the White Sox don't want to part with, even though they should have helped start the rebuild, Luis Robert. Randy is going to cost you a decent amount of prospects, but what helps the Mets here is that they're a team that is more willing than years past to part ways with some prospects, some MLB caliber talent should it deem fit, not only for the Mets now, but in the years going forward. And I know a lot of people are always scared about the potential of trading with the Rays because the Rays usually have a tendency to win lopsided deals. The most recent one that stands out, of course, is Isaac Paredes for Austin Meadows, right? But what we do also know is that David Stearns, the Mets president of baseball operations, has had a really strong success in the past with the Milwaukee Brewers when dealing with the Tampa Bay Rays. So he has that familiarity working with them in the past and also has had success in doing so. He has been a part of win-win trades versus it being, say, a lopsided win for the Tampa Bay Rays. So now let's get into why Randy Arozarena makes so much sense for the Mets. Well, if you've been following along this offseason, then you know what they're looking for. They're looking to, of course, upgrade on the defensive end. Randy doesn't help with that as much as maybe we would have liked, but he does help with the power. He helps with his ability to get on base at a great clip and also being someone that can help you for not only 2024, but years going forward. It wouldn't shock anyone if the Mets are a team that is reluctant to do trades this offseason for rental guys, especially when they're really trying to figure out how heavily competitive they're going to be for 2024 and beyond. Randy fits the bill as someone, again, only 28 years of age. You can slot him in left field right away as your everyday left fielder. That would help this team tremendously, provide more power outside of Alonso and Lindor in this lineup, and a clutch factor that I think is so important for a Mets team that desperately needs it. He has a swagger to his game like Lindor. Of course, he's known for the big moment. He's known for being flashy, but more than anything, he has stepped up to an absolute T in the biggest moments in his career, and those are the exact type of guys I would love to see here in Queens. So when talking about role, checks the box. When talking about stepping up in the big moment, checks the box. The only things that you can make the argument, the counter here is, one, how much are you giving up for him? Because of course you have to cut yourself short at some point with what your willingness is for a Mets team that's still trying to build their farm, which is of course what they're doing, which is a very strong job to this point over the past year or two plus. But you also need to keep in mind, okay, this is someone that doesn't have the defensive upside that maybe some other options out there, but is that something that's going to continue to get worse? Could it be a little bit better? These are things that can be worked on, but it is a fair argument. And on top of that, he was playing with the Tampa Bay Rays, a small market club. Yes, he's had a lot of success while playing in the Bronx against the Yanks, while playing in big markets elsewhere. He has those experiences there, but as the opposing player, not as the guy on those clubs. So how would he be able to handle the big market like New York? I think Randy would be able to handle it perfectly, given his personality, given his type of nature and the swagger behind his game. Those are the type of guys I want to see in this Mets team, not only guys that are swaggy, but can back it as well. And Randy can certainly do his part and then some. And on top of that, he's still so young, only 28. This is certainly an appealing option, probably a more appealing option than the current free agent outfielders available right now. And trust me, I would not scoff at the notion of a Teoscar Hernandez or a Lourdes Gurriel, but there are factors that certainly lean in favor of Randy and why the Mets, it makes a lot of sense for them to at minimum do their due diligence, if not go all in for someone like him. Especially you want to make sure Randy Arozarena doesn't end up with a rival in the way that the Braves may very well land a very strong pitcher, that being in Dylan Cease. Those negotiations are picking up fast right now, thanks to latest reports. So there are teams in the NL East that would love Randy Arozarena, as would be the case for any rival out there. But rest assured, he fits the bill for this Mets team better than a lot of other options. Will not cost you the same price as would be the case with plenty of other trade options out there. And I really don't know what else to say besides the fact he makes a lot of sense for this team, would fit the bill, would fit that left field hole right away, and you would just get someone that gives you consistency, power, on-base ability to steal bags at 20 plus per season and clutch up when it matters most in those big moments. Because there's one thing that we don't know with this Mets team, whatever it's going to shape out to be for 2024 and beyond, when they do make playoffs next, who is going to be those X factors? We have only seen with this core group a very small sample size of playoffs from last year in that wildcard round against, yes, that being in the San Diego Padres, where they faltered, and we didn't really get a chance to see how these guys could step up more than just a couple games. Randy has proven that plenty, and then some, from World Series experience, World Baseball Classic experience. Let's bring that experience, let's bring all those talents and then some here to Queens, is what I have to say as a fan. So Mets fans, whoever you're a fan of, I want to know your thoughts down below. How do you feel about the news that Randy Arozarena is potentially being shopped here by the Tampa Bay Rays, and how would you feel about the Mets doing at minimum their due diligence, if not going all in, to land this guy for the 2024 season and beyond? Whatever your thoughts are, drop them down below. So thank you again, guys, for the endless support, and as always, let's go Mets, baby. Peace out.